Hello everybody, Glass Half Dead here, and today we are talking about how to make the perfect cup of tea. So a few of you have asked me to look at, where are they? AdMech next. Now I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I have never played AdMech, I've never played with as them or against them, but I've got a 1080p camera, so you're going to watch it, aren't you? Right, first off, that's cool as shit. In fact, I'm gonna say something incredibly rash, no doubt, but I think that's possibly the coolest little bit of artwork that I've seen of the Adeptus Mechanicus so far. They're generally not my aesthetic, though, so if you like their aesthetic in general, you might be against this. Anyway, you only get 2 possible commanders. Let's take a look at the Tech Priest Enginseer. Let's jump straight to the Repair Artisan tactic. Okay? Use this tactic, so it's an aura tactic. Starts at the beginning of the movement phase, and you gain this till the end of the battle round. As long as this model is not shaken, roll a d6 each time a friendly model within 3 inches of this model loses a wound. On a 6, that wound is not lost. If a model already has an ability, reroll once. Okay. So that's kind of... We're seeing this as a pretty standard rule at the moment. There's a lot of ways to get this general effect into most kill teams now. Let's check the stat line. So 6-inch move, 4+, 4+, strength 4, toughness 4, 4 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 8, save 3 up. Okay. Okay. So nothing there's blowing me away. But he's only 28 points. So I wouldn't really expect it to. Obviously he's got Canticles of the Enginseer. If you're watching this, you probably have the core rulebook and you play these guys, so you know what that does. Bionics, he has a 6-up invulnerable save. Fine. That's about it, really. So let's go over his weapons. Standard las pistol, it's only a strength 3. Omniscient axe. Strength +1, so he's going to be hitting on 5s, or hitting strength 5. AP -2, that's pretty nice. Damage 2, okay. But with only 2 attacks? Well, hold on, let's check the servo arm. So strength ×2, that's strength 8. AP -2, damage 3. Each servo arm can only be used to make 1 attack each time this model fights. Let me reread that without putting a weird pause in there for no reason. Each servo arm can only be used to make 1 attack each time this model fights. Okay. It says each servo arm. He's only got 1. Okay. Right? Yes. When a model attacks with this weapon, you must subtract 1 for the hit roll. So, okay, this is your pretty standard play on a power fist. Fine. So, obviously, you're going to do 1 attack with the servo arm, 1 attack with the Omniscient axe. Unless, of course, you're wounding them on 2s with strength 5, but you're not going to be. So, ignore that. Unless you have strength, which, of course, gives you +1 at level 1. So, you'd actually have strength 6. So, you'd be doubling out. You know what I mean when I say doubling out. You'd be wounding guard equivalent on 2+. Okay. He's not blowing me away. I really need to stop pausing at random intervals in my sentences because I paused at blowing me. Great review. Don't get me wrong. He's going to get a lot of work done when you charge in. No, he's not, really. I mean, compared to a normal person, yes, he's tough. And you have a potential of dealing, what, 5 damage in a turn? Well, okay. As you can tell, I'm struggling with this one a bit, guys. He is the must-take option if you ever want to be able to run a full 100-point kill team, because the Tech Priest Dominus, level 1 is 130 points. So he's your cheap commander, but you have to have him as an option, basically. Let's go over to the Tech Priest Dominus, the Beast. Okay, 6-inch move. Weapon skill is a 3-up. which is a bit odd, actually. I don't know why. Ballistic skills 2 up. Strength 4, toughness 4, 5 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8, save 2+, max 1. I don't know why I said max 1. Right. It's got a Volkite Blaster, an Omniscient Axe, and a Macro Stubber. Oh, the Macro Stubber, yeah. So, Eradication Ray, 24 inches, heavy D3, strength 6, AP -2. Attacks with this weapon that target enemies at 8 inches or less are resolved with an AP -4 and a damage of D3. Now that's going to cost you 14 points to take, and it replaces your Volkite Blaster if you do. It's a heavy D3. That's not blowing me away, I feel, just because it's a heavy, and you're already hitting on 3s with the. No, you're hitting on 2s because it's a gun, aren't you? Okay, so you'd be hitting on 3s because you probably moved. Okay, it's not terrible, but at 130 points plus 14, so a minimum 144 points to run with an Eradication Ray, I'd expect better. Let's keep going. I bit my tongue. Ow. Macro Stubber, 12 inches, pistol 5, strength 4, damage 1. That's pretty beastie, just because it's a pistol 5. I like it. Like, it instantly makes him just better in close combat, because you get to shoot 5 times before you fight. Yeah, it's good. It's a pistol that can shoot 5 times. Not much more to say. And it's free. Right, the Phosphor Serpenter, 4 points, this one. And you will be replacing the Macro Stubber with this. 18 inches, assault 1. Strength 5, AP -1. Attacks made with this weapon do not suffer the penalty to hit rolls for the target being obscured. Okay, now that's a direct replacement for the Macro Stubber. In my mind, that plays a completely different role. So, if you take that, you are presumably less interested in getting this guy into close combat, right? That's my thoughts on that, I think. However, maybe that will change once I read out what on earth a Volkite Blaster is. So, Volkite Blaster, 24-inch range, heavy 3, strength 6, no AP. Each time you make a wound roll of a 6+ for this weapon, the target suffers mortal wounds in addition to any other damage. Interesting. Interesting. I think the Eradication Ray is powerful, obviously, and the AP -2 base is great. And once you're in 8 inches, you get the AP -4 damage D3, but a mortal wound on a 6+. I'm going to say I prefer the Volkite Blaster. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, AP -2 is a great addition, but I've seen me roll in games. I'm going to be shooting with the Eradication Ray 1 a turn, because it's only heavy D3. I'll be shooting once with that. Now you're hitting on 2s, obviously, which is good, but nah. I think I prefer the slightly more reliable version in the Volkite Blaster. But then the Eradication Ray gives you damage D3. That is tough. I suppose the other thing you want to consider here, guys, is why are you taking this model? So, I haven't done it yet, but maybe you guys have the book. Take a look at some of the missions in the back. This guy is your big, hard-hitting, assassin-type guy. If you're taking him, you are probably using him to kill other leaders, or to survive being attacked by an enemy leader, possibly in the assassination mission. It's not called assassination, but you know what I mean. If you're taking him up against another commander, you've got a base of 130 points. What are you going to do? Are you going to make him level 3 plus take an Eradication Ray, and then, I don't know, maybe just stick in... Oh, well, you have to stick in another model to be your leader. Hold on. Brainwave there, guys. You can never take a Tech Priest Dominus or any model at that level 4 because you have to take a leader. A commander isn't your leader, and he doesn't replace the need to be a leader or to have a leader. I think we broke the game. There are definitely some You could never take that. Huh. I mean, maybe I should read the campaign rules. Anyway, I'm going to move on. That's a subject for another time. I think that might be a screw up from GW there. Let's move on. Right, Canticles of the Dominus are, obviously, Masterwork Bionics. Clearly better than just Bionics. Beginning of each battle round, the model regains D3 lost wounds. That's nice. That's really nice. It's like the Necron's living metal, taken to the nth degree. He could be an absolute bastard to kill. Now, I assume that even if you take a flesh wound with him, and you then recover lost wounds, you keep the flesh wound. I don't think there's anything to say that you lose the flesh wound just because you have more wounds regained. But that is definitely something I should double check. And finally, Refractor Field. Model has a 5-up invuln save. Okay. Lord of the Machine Cult, 1 CP. It's an aura tactic. As long as this model is not shaken, you can reroll hit rolls of 1 in the shooting phase for friendly models within 6 inches of this model. Now again, I believe that they have clarified with aura tactics that this includes the model itself. Unlike with comms, where they FAQ'd it to say no, you can't comms yourself, auras, I believe, do include the model that casts the aura. So with that in mind, you are 2 rerolling 1s if you use that. That's very nice. You aren't missing. And in fact, even when you consider they might be over half range when you've only got 24 inches, or they're concealed, you're still hitting on 2s. No, you're not. Yes, you are. Yes, you're hitting on 3s rerolling 1s. I mean, I wouldn't want to face him in a fight. He's pretty tough. And the Omnicyrax is taking up to strength 5. I don't feel like you'd go the strength specialty with him. But you could. I feel like he's probably more shooting. Again, I haven't gone into those in huge depth yet. So, there's no unboxing in this one, guys, because I don't play this faction. And so that's also the reason I've decided to review them, because they've released the commander model for it, and I know I'm not going to buy it. So, Tech Priest Dominus, Tech Priest Enginseer, interesting. What do you guys think? Are you happy with these 2 commanders? Do they fix something you didn't have before? Do they just add to something you can already do quite well? I mean, certainly Lord of the Machine Cult. If I know one thing about Adeptus Mechanicus, it's that you're pretty damn good at shooting. So that's a huge buff for you, I feel. And perhaps if you went with a Rust Stalker team, you'd prefer this guy. Run him up with all your guys so that they're getting ignoring flesh wounds on 6s. No, ignoring losing a wound on 6s, not flesh wounds. I think those are 2 reasonable models. Yeah. I mean, you know, they haven't blown me away, but I think that's only because of my personal lack of knowledge about the Adeptus Mechanicus in general. I think those are 2 perfectly acceptable commanders. What do you guys think? Am I wrong? Am I right? Are you excited for this? Do you think actually that Tech Priest Dominus, you can already tell you're going to run level 1 with an Eradication Ray and a Phosphor Serpenta, and you're going to go nuts? I hope this has satiated the people out there that have asked for the Adeptus Mechanicus to be covered next. Did it for you guys. Hope you've enjoyed. Okay. Hope everyone's had a great day. Hope you continue to have one. Glass Half Dead, logging out.